Hi. Thank you for tuning in this Friday. My name is Tiffany, aka Anna Me, aka your Mary Kay lady, and today we're going to be working on a painting. It's been a while since I've been live. I just wanted to thank you for tuning in. Make sure you use the chat. This is going to be a little bit different because instead of being live on Mixer, we're going to be live on YouTube. So, yay! All right, so once you get here, make sure you say hi. I'm going to try using the chat, make sure it works. So my commands aren't going to be working because I can't go live on Mixer. So everyone, just make sure you say hi. And yes, so let's get started. Cammy boy, hi, thank you, thank you. Oh, I didn't know if this was going to work. I'm so glad you were able to make it. Um, did the link in Discord work? Hi. Let me just see here. I just want to make sure. I'm just finishing setting up, so just give me one moment. No, I haven't moved to YouTube permanently. It's just that Disc or Mixer has had some major changes, and I need to wait for them to send me a new key. Until I get a new key, I cannot stream through them. So I figured I'd rather stream than not. So I'm trying YouTube for the 24 hours until Mixer sends me a new stream key. Um, is it not showing yours? You mean my stream key or what? Well, I haven't done it since they switched everything. I didn't have a laptop for close to a month, and I didn't have my Xbox, so I wasn't streaming. I had no way to connect. So I'm just getting back to everything. So a lot has changed. So I haven't applied for it. I'm just applying for mine now. So there's a little countdown. Mixer says it'll be about 24 hours until I'm approved for a stream key, and then they're going to send it to me and all that. Although I was streaming on my Xbox the other night when I was able to play with Jacob Boy, my amazing, amazing boy. So yes, let me just see here. What are all these little YouTube things? Okay, so it shows two people are in here. I can share this. I'm new to YouTube, so I'm just poking around a little bit. Oh, I can do a pop-up chat. Nice. All right. So, are you excited for some painting? I still don't know how I'm going to do this, but basically, I'm working on that guy. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, so give me 1 second. I'm literally painting right now. I cannot believe you're painting right now. That is awesome. What's the chances of that? Look at the mug that my son got me. Jacka boy. So what are you painting? Let's see if I can get this here. There we go. Can you guys see that? So this is my daughter and this is my son. So I need to fix hers up and make it look a little bit more like that. Put a black border around. Then I'll put their names and some information about them, like their height, their weight, and everything like that. So this is what we're working on today. I figured it'd be really cool, a nice change to do some painting, seeing how I can't stream on Mixer, and it's something I needed to get done anyway. Oh, thank you. And painting an avocado, it is good to practice blending paints. Exactly. So I'm going to go grab my paints. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Alrighty. What kind of paints am I using? So that's what I'm going to be going over right now. So because I've lost all my painting supplies, I suffered a break-in a couple years ago. So I don't have all the fancy brushes and paints I used to have. So right now I'm just doing some dollar store painting. So these are just crafters acrylic paints. So you can get these for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. So I have a white, a red, a pink. Sorry, they're a little messy. And a black. Now these are almost empty, so I can't do too much today. I have 3 brushes. So this one's an old scratchy brush. It's really dried out, so it's great for just getting that rough edging done. This one is what I'll be using for my main brush, and this one. Now these are both slightly rounded. It's a little bit dirty with fuzzies, but that's okay. So nothing fancy. Couple brushes, a little bit of paint. I'm using a little cotton candy container for some water. And this is just what I use to carry my art supplies. Thank you so much for the like. Really appreciate the thumbs up. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Yes, I like the cheap stuff too. Now, I would prefer to have those big squeezable tubes from Michaels. They're about, I'm not sure, $15, $20 and up, depending on the quality, the size, everything like that. But I would like to get those, even the basics, those big tubes of paint. However, I can't afford them right now. Um, One day I'll be able to spend, I'm thinking my paint budget will be about $150 to get all the supplies I want. And that's getting a couple bigger canvases like the one you've seen down there. And just some basic paints. Now I only use 2 brushes usually. A big flat brush, a good quality flat brush, and then a really fine detail line brush. So, yes. Want a life hack? Of course. Who doesn't love a life hack? All right. Have a sip of my coffee. And then we will get busy because I don't have a lot of time. Oh, and for my paint palette, I'm actually going to be using the back of a butter container. Margarine. Okay, you caught me. So I'm just going to put some paint on there. It's really easy because when I'm done, I rinse it off with water and it's good. Worst case, I don't clean it and I can toss it away. It's not wasteful because it would have been in the garbage if I didn't reduce, reuse, recycle. So we're going to put our paint on here. I'm going to start with black and fill in. I'm going to fill in all these missing spots because a 1-year-old doesn't really flatten her hand the best. As you can tell, my son's, I've already fixed his. Up here, his foot had slid up, so this used to all be black. This used to be black, and his feet and the hand basically turned into one. I'll be right back. I need my charger before my battery dies. All right. Sorry about that. It wanted to die on me. Come to the UK, everything's so cheap. I wish I could, but I can't right now. yeah, if there was a way to go to the UK for free or to bring the UK stuff here, by all means, but I'm all the way in Canada and that's a far way. So, like I said, we're just going to be fixing up all these little missed areas. I dotted these lines so I knew how far her hand went, and then we're going to see where we're at. So, I'm just going to adjust this. There we go. Hello, hello. Love all your mixer mods have been mods on. I've never actually done a live YouTube, so I have no idea if they're a mod on YouTube or if they've been a mod on YouTube before. Um, yeah. I guess I'll see if they wind up showing up in chat here. I'll ask them. As far as I know, not many people go on YouTube. So what I'm doing is I'm starting just with a little bit of black paint. This is really runny. This is why I would want that other paint I was talking about, the tube paint. This works in a pinch though, so this is what we're using. I'm just going to load up my brush just a little tiny bit. You can't even see it. You don't want your paint going all the way up. And now I'm simply just going to go in and fill in her foot. Now I want to be careful because I want it to look natural. So I'm just doing itty bitty strokes here. I'm in no rush. Just taking my time. And yes, this is my first ever YouTube live, Cammy Boy. So yeah, I'm just spreading that paint nice and lightly. I don't want to do it thick because I want it to dry really quickly because I might add some more pink and white and then I'll have to go over it again. So I don't want to be dragging this black paint everywhere. So I'm just filling in her itty bitty baby foot while still making it look like a footprint, okay? So, almost got this one done. Now, I am working with an injured wrist right now. I don't have my tensor on just because I don't want to get it full of paint. So, if I'm holding my brush weird or anything, that's probably why is I almost fell this weekend and I wound up jarring my hands. This whole area of my wrist is extremely tender right now. Right, Cammy Boy, I agree. Having the same names are very, very beneficial. That's why I like to make mine nice and easy. I am going to be switching my name here soon. I finally decided on the name and the brand I wanted to go with. So I'll be having that update as soon as I'm able to get back on the mixer. So that'll probably be my live one. So there we go. As you can see, the base of the foot is much better than it was. Ooh, must have hurt. Yeah, it did hurt. It's not feeling that good right now, but I really want to get this done while it's fresh. So then I can hang it on the wall. So now I'm just going to be working on her toes. Now, if I had a smaller brush, it'd be easier. So I'm going to have to be careful just to stick to where her itty bitty toes are. So I'm just dotting just to fill in where the toes are. And then I might do the little line between the toe and the bottom of the foot. Have you ever painted oil? I've never actually used oil. A, I couldn't afford it, and B, I was already set up with acrylics before they all got taken. So no, oil is something I would love to give it a try. I like all sorts of mediums in art. However, I actually haven't done it before. So I would need to watch a few YouTube videos because I'm sure it's a bit different than acrylic. I like acrylic because it's cheap. It dries really easily. I don't have to worry about it being toxic around my little one. And it's just what I'm used to. However, I have done oil pastel. I've done some really fancy art with just crayons, if if you believe it or not. So no, I haven't. So now here, what I'm going to work on is I'm actually missing one of her toes. I don't know if it dried or if I didn't press down on it enough. So I'm just gonna pretend I know where this toe would have been. And I'm just gonna add it in there. Like I said, as long as I'm basically following what she had, it doesn't have to be perfect. It is a baby's footprint, so it's not going to be perfect. Oh, so now I get to show you how I'm gonna fix this. Um, Watercolors can be fun. Another thing, I haven't actually played a lot with watercolors, um, just because, yeah, I don't know. I do like a buildable paint, so I think that's where acrylic and I really get along. So I just put a little bit of water on the canvas. I need to go grab some paper towel, and I will be right back. All right. So, loads of different techniques. Yeah, that is so true. Um, it There's an endless amount of different ways that you can paint and stuff. So just so you can see, all I'm doing is just slightly brushing off the excess paint. I can always go over with some pink and white to fix that. So I'm just trying to get um, just the main big black part. So when I go back, it's not so much covering up. Now, of course, if I wanted to take a little bit of extra water, I can do that. And acrylic, that's another easy thing, is it just kind of wipes off. As long as you get it while it's really fresh, it shouldn't be too hard to just remove the black, but leave the pink as it is. So there we go. That's already a lot better than it was. And we'll just have to let that dry. Now I got this one earlier when we did her footprint. So again, I'm just going to be going and trying to wipe that off. Now this one has already dried, so it might be a little harder to remove. Try to use my nail there just to get that little bit of a glob off. And yeah, exactly, it's a water-based. So oil would also be nice if people like to take their time, because it does take a long time for that to fully cure. But for me, acrylic's easy. I can put a little bit out, do what I want. I can let it dry, come back an hour later. It's a very easy medium to work with. So I'm just getting this little spot right here off. Again, I'm just using a little bit of paper towel and water, mostly elbow grease, and with a little bit of luck, we should be able to get it off. Now I'm not too worried about down here because I'm going to be doing a border. Now I'm not sure if you can tell, but right around here I actually drew a border of where I want it. So as long as everything looks good, I'll be doing a whole outside border. I'm going to have my children's names going on their respective sides, and then their information, so the height and weight, the height and weight of my son right here, and maybe something like family, or I'm not sure. But I need to go and fix her hands now that I'm almost done with the toes. So, yes, not even sure if the Mona Lisa's dry, lol. Some oils take centuries. Yeah, exactly. And that's where I don't really want an oil based or oil at home. I think it's beautiful and I can appreciate it. However, I think it's just not the medium for me, not yet anyway, not when my little one's so itty bitty. So what I'm gonna go, and I find also when I'm painting, if I go from area to area, it's a lot better, because if I just focused on her toes, I could have spent an hour doing those, and I would have got so tunnel visioned, I wouldn't have taken a look back and appreciate it for what it is. So now I'm just gonna go and add that little bit of black for her pinky, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here's her little pinky toe. I'm just gonna add that there. I'm going to have to go in with some pink and white and fix this at another time. But for now, I think that looks like a pretty cute little foot. Alright, so now we're going to go onto her hand. Mm. Oh yeah, varnish is a huge help. I know my other painting, it's actually up there. You can't quite see it. That one was a spray varnish, but that one I did with my artist friend. She kind of did a tutorial, showed me how to paint it. This one eventually I would love to get it finished and varnished. However, I just don't have any sort of varnishing. Like I said, I have 4 paints and some water right now. So once I'm able to have a varnish, then yes, definitely I will be setting it, because this is something I want to have for the next 20 or so years. My baby girl is 1 and my big boy is 10, so it's a pretty big deal. So I want these to last, right? I don't want them to go and um, fade. So the only way to do that is to protect it. All right, so with her fingers, I want to be careful. I don't want it to be a straight line. So with my son, as you can tell, I kind of left those little bumps. I just connected them all together. This hand is probably a better example. So you can see how they're still slightly disconnected. Right here, he had a lot of paint on his hand, so it looks more of a straight line. But right here, this is our aim. If it doesn't come out perfect, that's okay. So I'm just working with itty bitty bits of paint. So now if you had a smaller, a finer detail brush, that would work as well. I'm just gonna go in. Now I don't know exactly how her fingers worked with her hands. I think one thumb went this way and one thumb went up. So I'm just gonna be using her older brother's as a reference, which is great to do. So first off, I'm going to start with the caps of her fingers. So this is how I know not to go past this point. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thumb. So her thumb's about right there. And we need to make her hand a little bit bigger, because if you look at your hand, your fingers obviously go down into your hand. So now we can add in the roundness on before her first knuckle and after. And I'm just, because this is a round brush, I'm just lightly pressing down. And that's what's kind of creating that oval. Because I want almost the separation that I would have if I did my handprint. Obviously, the finger tips of a little baby girl are so tiny and delicate that you really don't need a lot of paint or that big of a brush. You just need time and patience. There we go. So I'm going to fill in the rest of her hand. I think I'll like that better than how it was. Alright, so how's that looking? So this is a little wide up here, but that's just because her finger had moved around while we were doing the painting. So I'm just going to take some pink and take that out in the future. Um, but right now I'm just focusing on adding the black, then I'll go and fix the other areas. Oh, thank you, Cami. Alright, so right here, I'm going to use her other hand as a guide, so I know her hand's going to stop somewhere around right there. So let's just go down, and then we can follow her thumb going this way, and it's going to go down again. Now I'm just going to fill in this spot. Now I'm not an artist at all, I'm just trying to use my injured wrist, the little bit of skill I have, and just make it what I think a perfect, ideal handprint would look like. Um, Alrighty, so we have a thumb coming out this way. And again, I'm more tapping to show that it kind of connects, but it doesn't because there's that space right there. She has her little baby pinky right there. Her other fingers are right there. So I will have to go in and remove a little bit, but that's okay. I think it's looking a bit better. But yeah, I'll have to thin this out a little bit just to make it look less sausagey. It should look more like this, but that is okay. It is really easy to take off. So if you add a little bit of water, I can take that out. I can do some white acrylic and then add some pink. There's a bunch of ways, so I'm really not worried about it. With my son, what I had done up here is I just used some water, removed the extra black. I used a little bit of white acrylic, some pencil crayon after it was dry, just to add the difference between his hand and his foot because they're so big and I wanted space to write his name. I did that. So I know that there will be a few different ways I can fix my daughter's hand. So now I'm just taking a look. I'm wondering if on this foot it almost looks like that should have been her pinky toe. So I'm just going to connect just a little bit, just so you can see where her toes and her feet really do connect. Because Jackson's are pretty much all the way like that. So there we go. Alright, so because her other hand is really itty bitty, I'm just going to add a little bit of depth to this pinky just to make them more similar. And like I said, I bounce around from area to area just so I can get a look overall. I had already touched up his with some black, but I missed a spot right here. It's not quite as dark as I'd like it, so I'm just going to fix this little area. Because after his handprints were gone, I added a little bit more blue, a little bit more white. I did another burst of color on his side after we had done his prints, so I had to go back and redo the black. So that's how I knew hers would be easy enough to fix up. Do you have any turpentine? No, I don't have anything. I have water, crayons, paint. I don't have turpentine. The closest I would have is nail polish remover, but for now I'm just going to be leaving any mistakes as is, and then I'll probably hang this as it is until I'm able to get some more supplies to finish it the way I envisioned. Alrighty, so I'm just taking little tiny bits of paint. You don't want to go in all crazy. I'm grabbing big old globs of paint. So now I'm just rounding her hand a little. So I'm not sure how I want to do their names and stuff, but I want to get my border filled in. I have my black paint, so I think it'd be a good time to do that. This will help me see how big of a size the text and the font is going to wind up being. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water. I'm just going to go like that and add a couple drops of water to the acrylic just to make it spread a little bit easier. I'm also going to load my brush with water. Now I'm going to start on, alright, I repainted her side, so I'm going to have to start on his side. And what I'm going to do is I have this already done. So I'm going to paint this straight line up. I have it one ruler width. The other side I also have the same one ruler width. Now the top and bottom I might do it a little thinner. I have the line here. However, it stops about halfway, so I might actually thin the bottom just because his feet are so big. So this is what I'm going to do. Just paint this straight line. I might not keep it tilted the whole way because without an easel that can hurt a little bit. So again, loading my brush up with water, going back to my very fancy palette, grabbing a little bit of paint, going back into water, and now I'm just going to take and I'm just going to draw straight up like this, just to start to spread it. Now, what I can do is go back with my little strokes and just fill it in. Now, this is a really thin paint. It's not the best for building, so you want to get your layers down quick. You don't want to do a bunch of smudging because what's going to happen is it'll bring the blue and white back up. It's water based, so it does set technically. However, it can be a fully dry painting, and I can go back and remove the last two layers of color if I want. So because this is going to be hung straight on the wall, I am going to be painting this little edge. I'm going to start just with the top and a little bit of overlay on the edge, but that is my goal, is to get all the edges covered. So it looks more finished. It almost looks like a frame that way. There's another hack for painting. So I'm going to be really careful as I approach this edge. I'll show you how I do that. So I'm just doing a really quick all over color, being careful when I approach that pencil line and just spreading it up. If you find your brush is doing those kinds of strokes, it's a little too dry. You don't want too much water. Now, if you have a thinning agent, you can use that. I just use some water. There we go. So now I'm not going to have too much paint on my brush, and I'm going to go on that straight edge. So I'll show you how I would do that. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to follow that edge with my brush flat, like this, okay? Now it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. That's the beauty of art. So again, just finishing that off nice and straight. In case I decide I'm not going to do a flat one up, I'm just going to finish this as if that was it. So again, finishing off that corner and painting this edge. So I'll paint this outer corner so it can dry before it goes against my wall. You just want to make sure you have a good coating. When you're using water or thinner, just be careful, because with a cheaper paint like this, you can water it down too much where it can't actually bind. Now, how is your beauty business going? It's actually going really good. I'll have more updates about that on my Facebook and YouTube, but yes, it is going fabulous. Thank you. So, now we're just going to finish filling in this area. So we need to go up here and make our flat edge, so right there. And it's always easier to add a little bit more paint. So you see how I missed that part? I'm just going to go in and add it in. There we go. So now you can't even tell. So I'm just going to finish with this, turn back how I was. I don't know if you can see or not. Having an easel would be a huge help right now. Can anyone say Amazon gift list? So I'm just going to finish this edge. Now I don't have my ruler dry. However, I'm pretty sure I can freehand this line. So just bear with me and let me see if I can do this. So I'm going to go a little thin so I can add the extra black. It's always easier to add than to take away when it comes to a shade as dark as black. right. So now I need to look at it. So like I said, I thinned it out at the bottom so that I could add it back in or add it in altogether. So let's look at it like this. Alright. So this edge needs to get painted. And let's go around like this. There we go. So now this looks beautifully finished. Okay, so now I need to finish painting this part edge. Hello, whoever tuned in. You, 3 viewers live on Facebook or on YouTube. I didn't think this would happen. First time live on YouTube, so don't be shy. Make sure you say hi. So I'm just gonna quickly paint over this edge. Now this I am taking my time when I'm talking, so this is a lot slower than it typically be for me. However, this is my for stress-free Friday. This is just something to do to relax, to enjoy the day, to make some memories with my beautiful babies. Um, so yeah, I'm not under time. I don't make money doing this. However, I'm open for donations, but this isn't something that I pressure myself on. Painting is all about the beauty of life and the simplicity, as you can tell by my art supplies. Right, I know you were joking, but I can send you the link to my starter paint kit with the properties. If you'd like, you can post the link to your starter paint kit on Camiboy or on the chat. I don't mind you posting that link, Camiboy. You've been an amazing supporter of this channel. Is that the paint set and the easel that you use? And I'm not actually kidding. I really do need an easel and some more basic paint supplies. However, it's just not the biggest desire. So if you guys remember that little bit of black paint I put on, I still have about half of it left, okay? And I've already done one full edge and I fixed her handprint. So now I need to grab my ruler and do her edge and see how that looks. So let me get my ruler. And I don't want to set this down. I don't want to get paint on the table. So give me 1 second and I will be right back. Alrighty. So I'm not sure where my ruler ran off to, but that's okay. We can find something else to work on. It's in GPB, so you'll need to convert it, but here it is. What do you mean by that, GPB? Now I can start painting her edge. It doesn't mean I'll go all the way, but even the wooden part, I know that's for sure gonna get covered. So while we're still live, let's go finish up with that because, oh, Great British Pounds. Okay. Well, that's okay because chances are I'll be buying something local or something that's a lot closer to me. Oh, not a problem. Alrighty, so here we go. Again, we're just going to be painting this edge right here. And because it's so, like the wood is so thin, it'll be nice and easy to get that done. I'm just going to try to hold this so I can show you how I'm going to paint it. So I'm just going to use my finger as a guide. And see how it just allows me to do that. So I just go until it runs out. Go back and load up. And again, just using my pinky as a guide. Flip my brush over and go until it runs out. So this side is obviously going to be thinner on the border, but that's because once I finish measuring it, I just have to add that last little bit because all this will be done. So I don't mind it going over because I'm going to be painting that edge anyways. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there goes a big glob of black paint. If you ever get any dry paint, just wipe it off. It's okay. So I'm just thinning out this top area. And I'm just going to continue down, finishing off with my nice straight line. And again, if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. The only thing I do want straight, or really, really, really want straight, is this corner, because when I'm sitting and I see that little flat edge on the corner of my eye, it'll bug me. Alright, so now we're going to go and just paint this little edge. So like I said, this is a super easy project that is really beautiful for anybody that's looking for a nice little keepsake of their children. Now, of course, parents, you're welcome to use your handprints as well. This time I decided to just use my children's. So next time I might get a larger canvas and we can all do our handprints. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'm just spreading out the paint. I don't want to grab too much because I want this to dry so I can hang it up right away. So here we go. Just finishing up with that edge. So you see how nice this looks. It already looks somewhat finished. I just need their names up here. I will be doing that. I will be drawing their names with chalk, actually, like a little chalk pen, because then it just takes a little brush with some water and the chalk comes right off. Because I will be using a fancy little font, so you don't want to forget about this edge. Now, because I haven't painted this black side, I'm just going to be doing this little bit that will coincide with the black. So if I'm looking right here, I'm just going to go until it meets this black line. So if I take this black line, it ends right about there. So if I fill this in and spread it up, there we go. So once I decide if I'm doing a top border, it'll make that a lot better. But that's looking pretty good so far, if I do say so myself. Alright, so what else can we get done today? I can just add a little bit of black to my son's footprint right here where I had gone over with the white and blue to make it pop a little more. So let's just fill in that black, add a little bit more definition. And again, over the main pad of his foot, because it's almost a light gray, it's a really dark gray, but a very light black almost. So we're just going to make his whole foot a nice deep, like a jet black, so it doesn't look like it's faded. Alrighty, so this is just taking an itty bitty amount of paint. If your brush is dry, you can add a little bit of water. It all depends what you use. These paints tend to dry really quickly because they're so watered down. So a little bit, and then let it dry. If you need some more, you can go back and add it. So I'm thinking this is looking pretty good. Of course, I will go and fix her handprint because this hand is looking a little sausagey. But yeah, I think I got a nice little amount of rounding on her toes right here. This one, and this one. So let's see here. I don't know. What do you think, Cammy boy? Should I do this border black, or should I leave the top and bottom borderless and just have the border on the two sides? What do you guys think so far? If you're watching this after I'm done, feel free to comment below. Would you have done a border up here, or would you have left it without? For me, I tend to do about an hour, maybe 2 or 3 of painting. I'll hang it up and I'll look at it for a few days. And as I'm looking at it, I'll gain inspiration. And then I sit down, I do what I wanted to do, and then I do the same thing all over again. Yeah, I'm not sure either. So I think I'm going to leave it as it is for now. Like I said, it's a limited time that I have today anyway. So I'll leave it as is. I'm just coming up to that 45-minute mark, so that should be perfect. I'm going to rinse off my brush and I'm going to, let's, yeah, let's do one big thing. So I'll do a close up so you guys can see. Alrighty. Now, if you want to know how I got this awesome pink and this wicked blue, definitely let me know in the comments. Ow, 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 my wrist. Let me know in the comments if you'd like a tutorial on how I did the big pink and blue burst of color. And if you have any other questions, if you'd like, make sure you go to mixer.com/anime, follow for future giveaways, because in this weekend, I will be streaming live on Mixer. That's right, streaming live on Mixer. So go to mixer.com/anime as well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube. I do play a lot of games on Xbox. I will be starting to be a PC gamer because I don't currently own an Xbox. But as you can tell, I like the art as well. So if there's anything you'd like to see on video, let me know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Cammy Boy. It was a pleasure to see you. Hope to see you all on the flip side. I'm going to go wrap my hand before I hurt it some more. So, Cammy Boy, if you'd like, you can just DM me that link. And can you also comment my Discord in the chat, my Mixer in the chat, and like just the basic links for people who, because I'm new on YouTube and I'm not sure what my links are, but I really need to wrap my hand. Thank you so much, Cammy Boy. Huge shout out to Cammy Boy, you guys. If you're new, if you're looking for someone awesome to watch on Mixer, go to Cammy Boy 06. That's right, Cammy Boy 06. Um, Check out the chat. He is an awesome streamer. All right, I will see you on the flip side. Thank you for tuning in for my first ever live video of me painting. Have a great weekend. Bye.